The wait's finally over. Welcome back, Guardian. Today's video is going to be a huge game changer when it comes to all the changes happening for Gambit in Beyond Light. Trying to rock those dual specials as a Reaper without the Pinata of Death perk is pretty much impossible, and not even ammo finders alone can allow you to do this. But I did put together a build that's still going to allow you to do that, and I call it the Pinata. So while you're waiting on the Beyond Light launch, you can chill back, watch this video, and get even more hyped, because this is going to be a strong build for a lot of teams during launch. I'm not saying it's going to be the cure-all build, because we don't know what all new perks and all new subclasses and stuff, how that's going to all play out, but I promise this build at the launch is going to be the fastest Gambit Reaper build on any squad. So let's hop into it. My name is Rustopholis. Hit subscribe and become a beast. You can use whatever subclass you want and whatever Guardian you want, but I recommend Top Tree Nova if you're on a Warlock. Entropic Pull is going to give you around 40% of your grenade back once you do a charge melee hit to any body. And then also, with the Chaos Accelerant, you can charge a grenade and it lasts longer, and I recommend pairing that with Vortex Grenade to get the ultimate longevity out of it. So that means that you can charge it, throw it at a target, and then go slay other targets while that grenade is over there doing its thing and burning targets out because of that longevity and overall more damage. Now let me try to explain this build as fast as I can, starting with the Hawthorne Field Forge Shotgun. So this Hawthorne has Grave Robber, which is also going to synergize with Enhanced Impact Induction. That means every time you do a Grave Robber or a melee in general against the body, or if you kill somebody, you're getting 8 seconds off your grenade recharge. Then I have Demolitionist to go with that, which is also going to synergize with Nezarec Sin. I'm also using a Major Spec to down Majors even faster, because Minors aren't that big a deal in Gambit. This is also going to give me a fast quick charge, which I do have quick charge on this build. It's going to make orbs quick, it's going to have a faster time to kill, and I'm also using dual specials because this build is going to allow that, which is exactly what the Pinata of Death perk did before Beyond Light. Telesto is going to be the second weapon. It's the best weapon to have with the extra reserves perk, which is going to be on my legs, and it's also the best weapon to have to go with Nezarec Sin. You'll see in this screenshot that I don't have Nezarec Sin on, and that's because I had to use a legendary helmet to put Charged with Light perks on, because at the time of this video, I can't put Charged with Light perks on exotics. So the gameplay that I'm going to be showing you is without Nezarec Sin. So just know that the recharge rates are going to be triple to quadruple faster than what you're going to see in this gameplay, not counting the demo shotgun, the Grave Robber, and all the other stuff that's going to go with this build. There's a lot to explain with this build, and it's pretty complex with all the synergy going on and how everything revolves off of everything. So I'm trying to explain it the best that I can. But another cool thing about the Telesto is the Catalyst. That's going to allow me to use large arms reserves, which is going to give me more shotgun and sword ammo, since I get 21 with deeper pockets from the Catalyst. Now for the sword, if you want to have the best balance of ammo with Relentless Strike, you need Enduring, Balanced, or Burst Guard. But if you want a faster power swing, you need Swordmaster Guard. So I would recommend having both of those swords, either the Balanced or the Swordmaster. I like the Balanced because it's more resistance when blocking, and you get that second fastest power swing charge in game. But any of those combos work. It's going to be great for boss DPS still and high value targets, because I'm also using Lucent Blade with this build. Also for your stats, always a 7 and up recovery, especially in Gambit. Try to shoot for 8 or 9. If you can't reach it, I understand, because if you're on a Warlock, you're going to have to use stacks on stacks with this build. What stacks on stacks does is when you become Charged with Light, instead of it being ×1 Charged with Light, it's going to provide you a ×2. So it's going to give you a free light of charge every time you become Charged with Light. My preferred method to become Charged with Light is by using Quick Charge. That means quick double kills with fusion rifles or shotguns is going to charge you with light. So every time you get Charged with Light, stacks on stacks is going to give you that ×2. You can do Taking Charge if you want to. The only reason you'd really want to do Taking Charge is so you can do a sword ammo finder and a special ammo finder and a concussive dampener, which I recommend 4 concussive dampeners. But to be honest, out of every game that I did, I never found one benefit of having sword ammo finder. I was always plenty stacked for every boss battle, and I normally got drops on the first wave. Not always, but it was at least 85% or more. The first wave of a Gambit match would drop sword ammo. Every game that I played, when I got to the boss battle, I never needed sword ammo. And like I was saying, the helmet that you see in this screenshot is going to be on Nezarec Sin. Just copy the perks from that legendary version, but put it on Nez Sin. So you get those insane recharge rates to go with quick charge and all the other stuff we've already talked about. When it comes to your tiers, be it at least a 6 discipline. 7 to 10 is around a 1 to 2 second difference. It's actually around 1.3 seconds, but I just put 2 just to be safe about it. 7 through 10 is really no difference at all. You're going to be stacked with abilities, just put it that way. The reason why I recommend Lucent Blaze, because you don't want to use high energy fire. The reason is because on your leg perk, you're going to have extra reserves. If you don't know what the perk extra reserves does, every time you get charged with light and get void weapon kills or void subclass kills, any kind of void kill basically, it gives you a chance of dropping special weapon ammo. That means once you're at a ×2 charge with light, you have a good chance of getting special ammo, but if you're at a ×4 charge with light, you have a really great chance of getting special ammo, and that's why we're using stacks on stacks to go with quick charge, and that's the one that I recommend. Go quick charge, stacks on stacks, special ammo finder instead of the sword ammo finder version you see. It's faster that way for your gameplay than trying to chase orbs around the map. Taking charge is a great perk, and I wouldn't knock somebody if they used that and chose it over quick charge, but if I'm going top speed of trying to get my charges with light and slay ability, I'm going to go to quick charge all day. But like I was saying, back to Lucent Blade. Lucent Blade's going to give you 28% damage buff, and you're getting a 25% damage nerf on the sword when Beyond Light launches. So you're building back damage that you're losing, and it still makes the sword a beast to have, and it's still going to be slaying high value targets and bosses. But like I was saying with the extra reserves perk on your leg, it's important to get that charge with light as high as possible, which takes us to our class item piece, which is going to be recuperation, making orbs, touching orbs. We're going to be healing ourselves. You have light reactor with Nezarec Sin, which is going to give you a 45-second Nova. You're going to be getting abilities and Telesto kills all the time because of all the ammo you're going to have, because of the supercharge perk, which is going to take you to a ×4 charge of light. That means every time you get 4 Telesto kills, or 1 Telesto one-shotty kill, another shotgun kill, another Telesto kill, you're going to get ×4 charge because of stacks on stacks charging you with ×2 every time you get 2 kills. So with all that being said, this is going to allow you to have the Pinata of Death perk just like you did before Beyond Light, but in Beyond Light. And that's why I call this build the Pinata, because that's exactly what it is. You can use this with whatever Guardian you want, so you can be a Hunter, you can be a Titan, and use it with whatever exotic you choose to use. But I recommend it be an exotic helmet, because you can only do Charge of Light perks on exotics, so you can't put Lucent Blade on Doomfangs. You can only do Quick Charge on Doomfangs, or Taking Charge on any exotic, things like that. So because of how much energy things cost, and what perks you need on this build to not break it, things have to be in a specific order, so it works out best if you're using an Arc Affinity exotic helmet. A quick example of this is, say that you are on a Hunter and you want to use Orpheus Rig exotic. So if you're going to use Traction, that's 3 points, Special Ammo Scavenger is 4 points, and to still be able to use Quick Charge, you can't do it because that's cost 5 points for your energy. And the way you spend your energy and the perks that come on specific armor pieces really matters with this build on, unless you want to do the Taking Charge option, but that's going to give you slower charge with light times, even though Taking Charge is still a beast perk. And like I said, I wouldn't knock anybody for using it. But let's say there's 2 of me, like another clone, and he's on the opposite team using the Taking Charge version, and I'm using the Quick Charge version, and we're racing and slaying ads together. Well, all I'm having to do is get double kills, and then run to the next wave of ads and keep killing, and we're both still getting the Nez and recharge rates, but think about how he's having to run to every single orb that he's making just to maintain his ammo with the extra reserves perk. And though there are benefits to taking charge, those 1 to 2 seconds may not seem like they're counting or adding up, but in the grand scheme of things, they definitely are. And when you have 2 equal teams competing against each other, 15 to 20 seconds is a really long time. So there are pros and cons to using both, but I just want to give that as an example. I like Quick Charge the most, but both will still kind of work. You can figure out how you need it. But this is a Universal Guardian and subclass build. It just works best with Nez Sin and Void on a Warlock, or really just Void subclasses in general, because the extra reserves perk only procs when you get Void kills. So you have to have Void subclass or Void weaponry for that perk to even start working. That's why Telesto's there, and that's why the Void subclass is there, and why Nez Sin is also being used if you're on the Warlock. And it's also the reason the exotic helmet's being used, because of fitting Quick Charge in and still maintaining all the other perks, and the special ammo finder that's also going to synergize with the extra reserves perk. But anyways, I kind of just wanted to explain the build as thorough as possible, especially if you're new to the game or new to building in general. I know that some people will play the game for many years but never really know the depth of building in this game, especially since Shadowkeep, when building got even more in depth. and I'm sure Beyond Light is going to be bringing a ton more depth on top of that, so I wanted to make sure that everybody understood the build. But I apologize if I repeated myself a bunch in this video, because I know that I did. I even felt myself repeating things a lot, like I am right now. But again, it has to be built out exactly like you see in this video, otherwise you are going to have gaps or be on the lower side of ammo a lot of the time. But if you have it built out just like this, and you get on the lower side of ammo, you can build it right back up. And with the gameplay that you're seeing, a lot of deaths were in there, and I included these specific scenes in a specific game to show you my gameplay on some of my worst days or some of the worst matches. So sometimes I would do things on purpose, like run into the middle of a bunch of ads when I was already low on ammo and then get myself killed by meleeing a cursed thrall or some kind of like explodey vex, because I wanted to see how the build would build itself back up if I got into those tight jams. And that was a part of the testing that I did with this build, to find out if like this is actually going to be a legit option as a build without the Pinata of Death perk, now that it's gone. So a lot of that stuff, you know, had to be weighed to make sure that I was making a build that was actually still going to work, and it wasn't just some random fluke that I kept getting ammo, you know what I mean? So I did a lot of crap on this to test it out, and how you see it is exactly how it needs to build. Otherwise, you're going to see varying results. Beyond Light's almost here, and the goal of this video was basically just, like I said in the intro, to create hype and give you something to do while you're waiting on the launch of it. I hope you all used the recaster last season to grind out armor that had really high strength gear with still at least a tier of discipline, but mostly recovery, because I think the melee might be really beneficial this season versus any other season, especially when it comes to Grandmaster sense with those freezing melees. But definitely check this out. I believe this is going to be the new meta until something better comes along in Beyond Light, if something even does, because the fact that you can't rock dual specials unless you can with the new perks, this is probably going to be the ultimate go-to Reaper build for a long time. I had plans to do my best fusion rifle video for Season of Arrivals. I did the other special weapons, and I also had plans to do the best heavy weapons, but I had moved in between the time and ran out of time basically, and before I knew it, Beyond Light was already here, so I do apologize about that. But to be honest, the game was kind of at a dying state at that point. They'd pushed Beyond Light out so far, and I just could not get the inspiration to just make myself bust ass. But this season, we have a new console, PS5 is coming out, new Xbox is coming out, a lot of new content's going to be coming out, Destiny is going to be greater than ever with all these new changes, and my motivation and inspiration is super hyped up for this season, so definitely stay tuned for that. If you want to support the channel, definitely hit paypal.me/Rustopholis to help me keep grinding out content. It definitely helps me out. Also teespring.com/inspace, and all the other links will be in my descriptions below. With the holidays coming up, if you want to grab a souvenir, that definitely helps me out to help you out. So a win-win situation there, Guardian. But other than that, I'm sitting here staring at my screen, waiting on the new beginnings of Destiny. This is actually kind of the first game that, to me, had nothing to do with anything that they had started to create in the past. This seems like it's going to be just a brand new wave of content and gameplay styles that we haven't seen before, and I just don't even have words left, basically. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I will see you all on the new season, though, in the next video next time.
In space.